Montreal isn't exactly known for staying quiet, especially when it comes to hockey, but somehow the biggest roster shakeup of the summer just happened with barely a sound. No flashy media blast, no screaming headline, just a silent warning that sent shockwaves through 31 front offices. The Canadiens are done rebuilding, and now they're out for blood. When a 25-year-old, 6'4", 70-point defenseman tells his current team, "Send me to Montreal, I'll even take less money," you know something massive is brewing. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll see exactly how Noah Dobson, Ivan Demidov, a Calder-winning phenom, and an army of prospects have transformed a league laughingstock into the NHL's next juggernaut. Just 3 days ago, Noah Dobson looked locked in as a franchise piece for the New York Islanders. Contract talks froze, trade rumors spread. Then Kent Hughes struck, sending the 16th and 17th picks plus Emil Heineman to Long Island and locking in Dobson with an 8-year, $76 million 0-cents deal on the spot. So what makes this move hit harder than your standard star player joins new team story? First off, Dobson's toolkit is everything modern blue lines crave. Surgical passing, power play vision, and elite shutdown defense without constantly playing on the edge. Second, the timing is perfect. This deal covers ages 25 to 32, the exact prime window when most defensemen stack Norris votes. Third, the intent. He picked Montreal. Reports confirm he passed on bigger contracts to join a team still clawing its way to the playoffs. And that kind of self-imposed pay cut only happens when players believe something special is about to erupt. Hughes didn't just land a top-tier defenseman, he bought something bigger, league-wide respect. Now, about fit, Dobson steps in as the right-shot anchor the Canadiens have been desperate for. Imagine breakouts where he fires 120-foot darts to Cole Caulfield, curling at full speed, or seam passes that let Demidov leave defenders spinning in the paint. Dobson is the main switch powering the whole system. Without him, the power flickers. With him, it surges. But if Dobson is the power switch, wait until you meet the live wire buzzing beside him. Lane Hudson just walked away with 165 of 191 first-place Calder votes, tied Larry Murphy's rookie assist record, and clocked the third fastest speed among NHL blue liners at 23.77 mph. Even crazier, Hudson plays like the offensive superhero fans imagined Bobby Orr would become if he grew up binge-watching TikTok highlight reels. His edge work slices ice like a blade. His deception turns forecheckers into confused cones. Yet Hudson had one clear vulnerability. It's just 5'10", he needed someone behind him who could cover when the ice flipped in a heartbeat. Enter Dobson, a long right-handed partner built to erase odd-man rushes and still launch Hudson into instant counterattacks. Early projections show a combined XGF percent north of 57% if Martin St. Louis keeps them paired. Numbers usually reserved for duos like Hughes-Honeck or Makar-Tuz. And if you think just two blue line stars are enough, you haven't peeked behind them. Dobson and Hudson may sit on top of the pyramid, but the base beneath them is just as terrifying. Kaden Goulet is still leveling up into a defensive monster, skating like a winger, hitting like a freight train. David Reinbacher, barely 20, already looks NHL polished after an AHL run where he broke up zone entries at the league's second highest rate for U22 defenders. Logan Mailloux and Arbor Shekai bring the mean. Shekai's viral open ice hits were unforgettable, and Mailloux's slap shot flirts with triple digits on the radar. The fight for ice time will be brutal. Prospects like Adam Engstrom, William Trudeau, and first-rounder Bogdan Konyushkov haven't even entered the fray yet. All three could make the lineup on weaker teams tomorrow. That level of surplus gives Kent Hughes two massive luxuries: built-in injury backups and instant trade bait to fix any need up front. In simpler terms, Montreal can swing and miss on a free agent and still stay dangerous by flipping excess defenders into win-now help. The most chilling part everyone mentioned so far is 25 or younger. This isn't just a blue line. It's battle armor welded onto a tank that's still gaining speed. If Dobson answered the question of how the puck gets there, then Ivan Demidov is the explosive answer to what happens when it does. After torching the KHL with a record-breaking 49-point U20 season, Demidov finally broke free from his contract and dropped straight into Montreal's top six this spring. He joins an already loaded cast: Nick Suzuki's two-way wizardry, Cole Caulfield's one-timer that shatters microphones, Juraj Slavkovsky's power forward dominance, and Kirby Duff's fearless drives to the net. Put Demidov beside Suzuki and watch his east-west wizardry crack open new passing lanes for Caulfield. Drop him to a second line with Dach and Slavkovsky, and you've built a 6'4", 215-pound cycling monster, flanked by a magician. Advanced models say Montreal's 5-on-5 offense could leap from 19th to top 10 just from inserting Demidov's KHL production rate of 1.77 primary points per 60. Day 2 of the 2025 draft felt like business as usual, until Kent Hughes flipped a switch. He bundled mid-second rounders to steal Russian winger Alexander Zverevsky at pick 34, a player many teams had mocked in the 20s. Scouts love his inside lane burst and sneaky release. Think a calmer but smarter version of Artemi Pantarin. Bryce Pickford went at 81, bringing that gritty edge St. Louis thrives on. At 82, LJ Mooney may be tiny, but he's slick and elusive, the kind of high upside, low risk lottery bet Hughes keeps doubling down on. One Caulfield success story is all it takes to rewrite a generation's expectations. Down in Laval, Joshua Roy and Oliver Kapanen went full beast mode in a playoff battle loaded with AHL veterans. Roy's shot release is NHL grade. Kapanen, he just broke the Rockets' rookie playoff scoring record. Here's the real takeaway. When today's stars need new contracts, the next wave is already revving. The production line in Montreal hasn't stopped rolling. Prospects are exciting, but culture is what turns potential into power. Dobson, walking away from big money on Long Island to chase something bigger in Montreal, wasn't a fluke. Insiders now say agents are calling Kent Hughes, saying, "Keep us in mind." The rumor mill spinning like crazy. Pierre LeBrun just confirmed Montreal is pushing hard for St. Louis winger Jordan Kyrou before his no-trade clause locks in on July 1st. So what's the secret sauce? It starts with Martin St. Louis, a coach whose communication style players call TED Talk meets locker room banter. Even after Dobson's deal, the Habs project about $13 million, 0 cents in space next summer. Circle October 9th, 2025, Demidov's official debut, Dobson's first game at Bell Center, Hudson's second-year leap, and a returning roster that brings back 88% of its 5-on-5 minutes. Phase 2 of the plan, 2026 to 2027, is when the door truly swings open. Hudson's entry-level contract remains untouched. Demidov's cap hit stays under $1 million. Dobson will be deep in his prime. Prospects, like Reinbacher, still under $900 0 cents K deals, giving Montreal the flexibility to bring in a top-tier rental without tearing the team apart. If Kyrou or someone just as lethal lands early, that timeline won't just accelerate, it'll explode. Noah Dobson turns their biggest weakness into a wrecking ball. Lane Hudson brings the controlled chaos. Caden Goulet, the brute force. Ivan Demidov, the magic. And behind them, that clock just hit fast forward. The rest of the NHL heard a whisper. By Christmas, they'll feel the roar. So if you're not buckled up yet, hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss what's coming.